If you're thinking about making a YouTube channel, you've probably thought through a lot of different things, and maybe you're on the fence of just like, should I even record videos? Today, we're going to be talking about the thought process that I go through whenever launching a YouTube channel. And actually, it's the thought process that I went through to launch this particular YouTube channel. Because I think at the end of the day, if you don't have answers to the questions that we're going to talk about in today's video, you're probably going to fall off the bandwagon pretty quickly. I've started probably 3 or 4 channels over the years for various reasons, thinking that, I was gonna make a bunch of money doing this or build a personal brand doing that. And I kept falling on my face because I would hit a point where it's like, okay, I've made a few pieces of content, nobody's watching it. Why even bother to keep doing this? Like, what is truly the reason to actually keep pushing forward rather than am I just spinning my wheels for nothing? So in today's video, we're going to talk about kind of the 4 questions that I go through in order to actually make sure that we can create a channel and get things launched in a way that ultimately is going to help us go through the process of ultimately, like, what does this really look like? So I want to talk about a couple things real quick first. So the first thing that I did whenever I'm like thinking about starting a YouTube channel is I have an Evernote file that I keep called my video ideas file. And basically what this is a just a sheet where I am constantly thinking through ideas like, hey, what does this look like? How am I actually building out this channel? And from there, that is just the seed of like, hey, do I have enough ideas in kind of the vein that I want to go through in order to actually start this channel and make it something? The next thing that I do is I go through these handful of questions, and those questions are, who is this for? Like, when at the end of the day, a YouTube channel is not for you. A YouTube channel is for the people that you're actually trying to help or the people that you're trying to communicate with. So if you don't take the time to sit back and say, who am I really actually trying to like reach with this content? Who am I trying to help? What is the purpose of me going through and actually help people understand this thing that I know that not many other people know? Or maybe I have an experience that I have that I just want to share and hope that other people can get some value from that experience. So really thinking through your who and what it is that you're trying to do will really help kind of streamline the process of you actually creating the content. Now, for me, my who is specifically a person who looks like I did. 10 years ago, I was in a corporate job at GE Aviation engineering stuff, helping build jet engines. And I hit a point where I started to ask the question of like, is this it? I get up, I come to my meetings, I answer emails, I do my work, I go home, I have dinner, I watch some TV, go to bed, do it all over again. Like, is this really all that life has to offer? That was where I was at. And that is what helped me start exploring the world of YouTube and business online and those type of things. And so I want to create this content specifically for people who find themselves in that situation. But I also want to help. I also want to create this content specifically from a legacy perspective for my grandkids and I'm sorry about that, for my grandkids and people like that. So at the end of the day, have somebody in mind of who you're actually creating this for. So that way, one, it gives you the ability to frame your content of, hey, if you find yourself in this situation, here are the recommendations or here's the advice that I have. The next question that I ask myself is like, what is the value that you're bringing? At the end of the day, what I find is helping people understand the mindset that they have to have in order to do the thing is one of the key pieces that is missing from most content. Most content is very mechanical, where it's like, here are the steps that you need to do in order to get X. Like, how I get $100 a day online. How do I make how do I land my first client? How do I design a thumbnail? All these like very tactical things are helpful. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the right mindset around it or the thought process behind it, a lot of times the mechanics of things, while yes, they can be helpful, they don't necessarily always land appropriately. So we want to make sure that we're adding in kind of a mindset component so that people can actually get the value that you have to bring to the table. The third question is like, how can I sustainably create content? At the end of the day, content creation is a very flexible activity. It's very easy to do, and it's very easy not to do. And at the end of the day, if we can't find a sustainable way to make content, then, you'll have the motivation and the desire, you'll hit the record button, you'll do it once. But after you've done it once, you'll then find yourself, frustratingly, you'll put it in your mind that you want to do it, it gets pushed off to the next week and the next week and the next week, and it never gets done. So if we can't find a sustainable way to do that, it's just very difficult. Now, for me, the way that I have approached it is I have a block in my calendar for 4 hours where I sit down, I go through my list of ideas, I come up with here are the videos that I want to create and the topics that I want to talk about, and from there I then just go ahead and shoot. By having that 4 hours blocked, I have the dedicated time where I can take the time, record, get something done, and then from there I can then have team post-process it. Now, not everybody is going to have team in order to do that. I'm fortunate enough to have a thriving YouTube business where I help people grow their YouTube channels. And as a function of that, that gives me a little bit of funds that I can use and invest into team in order to help me with this process. Now, you can also do things like my first handful of videos. I don't actually plan on farming out a lot to team. Right now, I'm just recording on recording software on my computer. At the end of this video, I'm going to end it, stop the recording, and upload. No post-processing whatsoever, because at the end of the day, speed of execution is always going to trump perfection. So the other thing that you can do is, what are you already doing that has the opportunity to be turned into content that is already in your schedule? Now, if you're a coach, or somebody who is interested in being a coach or a consultant or somebody who works with other people, record those sessions. Especially if you're doing like prospecting, where you're getting in front of them and basically doing a free session with them, say, hey, I'd love to turn this into a piece of content. Can I record? Can I basically duplicate your time and not only have that great conversation with that potential client and help other people see the work that you do, but you also get to help them directly on that call. So you can kind of like you can multitask and get more than one benefit from the same amount of time that's being utilized. Evan Carmichael, who is a business partner of mine, he talks about doing free IG Live sessions. So if you actually go and follow him, every 2 p.m. Eastern, he will actually jump on an Instagram Live and he'll bring people up. He'll have a conversation that'll then get turned into a piece of content on the back end. So it's, how do I take the thing that I'm actively doing in my day and turn that into a piece of content? Because at the end of the day, whether you're selling a service or a product or having a great conversation with somebody, there's somebody that can value from it. The way I look at it is, for every video that I make, if one person can get value from it, it's worth putting out there. So that is the mentality that I take. And as far as making it sustainable, it's just, how can I leverage the activities that I'm already doing in my day so that I can get that piece of content out there just to feed the machine. And the last thing is, you have to find a way to make it fun. At the end of the day, if it's not fun, then you're not going to do it. If it's always a chore, and honestly, this is something that I struggle with. Like, at the end of the day, this is the second video that I've recorded today. It has taken me, I've literally been talking about building this channel for over a year now. It's taken me over a year. Like, what am I doing? And I think the biggest piece for me, the biggest missing piece for me, was looking at it and reframing everything from the perspective of, how can I help one person take the next step? How can I help one person take one more step in the direction of building a life they love? And once I put it into that frame, that really helped solidify like what I was doing, why I was doing it, and ultimately, what this channel was all about. So if you would like to see the last video that I did where I walked through why I'm building this channel, you can check out that video. Let's see, I'm going to move myself here, right over there. And if you click on that, it'll take you over there, and I'll see you in that video.